and welcome or welcome back to Yarn Tea and Books. My name is Tasha, and along with my husband, we are the dyers and humans behind Frogget Yarns Hand-Dyed Yarns and Mobile Yarn Truck. So welcome back to all our returning viewers, and welcome in to all of our new viewers. It's so nice to have you here joining us this week. This is just my little corner of YouTube where I share what I'm making, what's happening with my small hand-dyed yarn business, and what I'm reading, and always what I'm drinking. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, then grab your favorite beverage, grab your favorite mug, and let's get started. This week there will be half of a finished object. There will be a whip that I didn't quite make it, guys. If you watched last week, I had a goal. I fell short. But that's neither here nor there. There will be some pretty exciting shop news and some book chat, what I've been reading, how I'm feeling about it, all that good stuff. So, as always, we'll start with Mugwatch. And this week is probably my favorite of my holiday mugs because we all know how much I love Charlie Brown. And I got this last year from Seasoned Pottery. I was so happy that I was able to grab this one. She has not offered one yet this year. I don't know if she plans to, but I feel very lucky that I have this one. It is probably my absolute favorite. And yes, the Christmas mugs are out. The Christmas tree is up. All the decor is out. It's actually been out since November 1st. Mr. Frogget, November 1st, took down all of the Halloween, brought up all of the Christmas, and he said, you know, we enjoyed it so much last year having it up for that whole extra month. And you know, there's no rules. So all of the Christmas mugs are out. I've been enjoying them. So I figured it was time to put one on the podcast. This is by Seasoned Pottery, and she will be linked below. She's been having pretty regular shop updates. I'm thinking every 2 to 3 weeks I see an update from her. And she is starting to put out the winter / Christmas mugs. The last update I think was last Sunday. And I didn't see any Christmas, but I did see some winter. So it's worth following her on Instagram. That's where she posts every single piece that's going to be in the update. Yeah. And, you know, that way you can see the exact mug or flower pot, or she does spoon rests, and she always has a number associated with each one. So if you know, hey, I want mug number 27, then you can go right to that one on the website, and it makes getting the mug you want or the piece you want a lot easier rather than trying to browse as things are selling out. But anyway, that's Mugwatch. I'm drinking my regular chai blend from Adagio as always, and that's where we're at. So let's move on to FOs. And for FOs, it's more like a hoe. It's more like a half finished object because I finished the first sock in our Christmas book box color. This is going to be called the Christmas Bookshop, which is the name of the book that this whole box is based on. I did 10 rows of silver, 3 rows of gold, 10 rows of silver. I did 80 rounds for my leg this time. I wanted them slightly longer. I just find that in the winter when I'm wearing my boots, I like the leg to just be a little bit taller. So 80 rounds for my leg. I just do a 64 stitch sock. I use a needle size US 1.5, which I think is a 2.25 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter. I'll put it on the screen. I do not know conversions. I did a short row heel in the gold. I do 60 rounds for my foot, and then I do a rounded toe. It's my favorite toe. It's just some gentle decreases and then decrease until you get the number that you want. And then I Kitchenered the toe together and she is done. And I'm so happy. I'm ready to cast on the second one immediately. I'll probably do that today because I love having a sock on the go for when we're running errands or we have to go anywhere. I can grab my sock, and it is living in my cute little winter bag from Fat Squirrel Fibers. So I've got my needle in there. I'm ready to cast on sock 2. And that's it for FOs. So let's move on to whips. And I know last week I said my goal was to have both sleeves done and be actively working on my button band for my Douglas Cardi. Well, I will tell you, sleeve number 1 is done. This is the right sleeve. She is done. She's got her cuff. I had to actually rip out 3 or 4 sections because, you know, I'm trying it on, but it's hard with something like this that isn't done here, right? It doesn't have the button band on it yet. So it sits way weird. So I'm trying to like pull it up, forgetting that it's going to be down a little bit because of the button band. And so I'm thinking my sleeves need to be longer. And then I put it on and I get it situated where I think it should be for the button band. And then I realized my sleeve was down here and I hadn't done my cuff. So I did have to rip back. And I consulted my other Douglas Cardi because I already have one made and counted the stripes of that. My gauge was a little different on that one just because I used different weight yarn and, you know, adjusted for that. But I have found that 9 stripes is where I need to be. It stops it like right at my wrist bone. And then I have a nice long cuff. I did 3 inches of cuff. So you're probably wondering, Tasha, how's the second sleeve going? Well, she's going. I have been working on this every night, every evening. We have been busy in the studio, busier than I originally thought last week. I thought, man, like we're going to get past our last show and it's going to be great. I'm going to spend Monday in my pajamas. I'm going to knit. I'm going to read. I'm going to drink tea. It's going to be a great day off. That didn't happen. Monday morning, bright and early, we were in the studio. So when we're at a show, if somebody finds a color that they love, either on a base that they love or would like it on a different base and we don't have it in person, we always offer the service that if you're at the show and you see something you want and I either don't have enough or you want it on a different base, we'll take a custom special order at the show. It doesn't cost you any extra. And as long as it's more than 2 or 3 skeins, we will pay the shipping. And people seem to love this service because A, they know that if they're getting yarn for a bigger project, it's all going to have been dyed together. What's in the truck? We try to keep, you know, if we dyed these 5 skeins all together, we try to keep those 5 skeins on the hook. And if there's extras, they're down below. And we try not to mix them up. But you never know. So it happened that we took quite a few special orders at the show. So my priority when we got back was then to get those orders dyed. I want them dyed so that they can get sent out because you as the customer have already paid for that. You left my trailer with nothing except a piece of paper. And so it's always my goal to get them out as quickly as possible. Well, then I got completely tripped up by Veterans Day on Tuesday, just forgetting that it was Tuesday and that there would be no mail service. So all of the orders got dyed on Monday and they hit the mail on Wednesday since I don't pay attention to calendars. So that was Monday. We did all of the special orders from the show, and we had some orders that had come in over the weekend that, you know, we didn't pull from our stock at the show. So we wanted to wait till the show was over to see if, you know, if what was needed was left, we would pull it from the trailer. Some of it got sold, so we then had to dye that, which is all fine and good. That's why the dye studio is in my basement. We also had a wholesale order for our friend Joan, who owns You and Me in York. So if that is your local yarn shop, she will have gotten, this goes up Saturday. We're probably going to deliver it Friday or Saturday. She had a nice big order for our BFL Aran base, and that has all been dyed, and I will be tagging that today for me, which is Thursday, but it will be delivered to the shop this weekend. So go pay Joan a visit, and she'll have a bright, beautiful new batch of our BFL Aran weight, which is perfect for those quicker winter knits. Makes a lovely hat. And you only need one skein. Makes a great sweater. I've got a sweater made out of it. It's very warm. It's very light. And I feel like it's very next to skin. So we've been busy is what I'm trying to say. Busier than I thought I was going to be. I did not get my day of pajamas yet. I am hopeful. It's not happening tomorrow either. I thought maybe it would happen tomorrow. Mr. Froggett said, I think tomorrow, which for me is Friday, we should dye all of the book box yarn. So I was like, okay, we'll do that. That way we can pack all the Christmas, December book boxes, and they're ready to go once I get the charms. Anyway, all of that to say, no, the second sleeve is not done. Is it almost done? Absolutely. Let me see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am 3 rounds from being done with this color. This is the last color stripe that I need. Oh my gosh. My yarn balls are flying everywhere. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am on stripe 9. I only am 3 rows from being done with that and then doing the cuff. So I have just the 3 inches of the cuff and the 3 rows of this. It won't take long, but because we've been doing a lot of dyeing, I've been doing a lot of, you know, wringing out the yarn, you know, just with Mr. Froggett's schedule, I've cleaned out the cabinets by myself twice this week. So it takes a toll on my arms and my hands. And I will not knit when my hands and my arms are hurting just to hit a goal. So, no, I didn't make it. But yes, I am very close. And I have no reason to think that this will be done by next week when I podcast. And I might even have the button band done. The button band is not hard. It's literally 20 stitches of just ribbing, but it is all ribbing. So we'll see. But anyway, there she is. I do have 1 sleeve. I almost have 2. I almost made it, guys. I'm so glad I didn't say, oh, I would have it completely done. That would have been more sad than not quite finishing the sleeve. But it's all good. It's all good. So that is it for whips. I have not even started my December granny square. Yeah, it's just been, usually after a show, our last show of the season, we just relax, but there's just so much still to do. And we'll talk about that in shop news. So with that being my last whip, only really whip, let's move on to shop news. So if you're watching this on the day it comes out, which is Saturday, November 15th, then December's club, Lily Pad Club, is live. It went live today, Saturday at 9 a.m. So If you're wanting it, if you've been collecting all 12 months, it's up. It's the last book of 2025. This is our book, A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacy McEwen. This is a really pretty edition. This is our color palette. And this is the charm. So pretty. I love how she did the marbled clay with the stars. These are actually like cutie little crystals down there. So that is our charm. Just remember, they are limited. So when they're gone, they're gone. There's no more. Pre-orders stay open from today, the 15th, through the 30th, the last day of the month. On the 30th, the listing will come down at the end of my day, usually around 9:30 Eastern time. Before I go to bed, I take it down. And then that's it. You can't get any more unless you visit one of the 3 shops that carry the club yarn. Now, since we're talking about club, I want to say, when I put out the poll for if you wanted to keep the book club theme going for 2026, it was an overwhelming yes. So many of you are loving it. I am loving it, and I'm so happy that you are loving it. And it's great because, you know, we only got to do 12 books, and there's so many books out there. So theme for Lily Pad Club next year for 2026 will still be book club. We're going to call it Book Club Chapter 2, but with a twist. And here's where you get to have some input. We are going to ask for your favorite book covers. What is a book cover that you've read or you want to read that you would love to see us turn into yarn? That's what we want to know. We're going to pick, you know, throughout the year from all of the entries and do colors from books that you guys want to see turned into yarn. So it has to be one that we haven't already done. And it has to be based on just the cover, not anything within the book, right? So you can start by leaving that in the comments below. I'm going to start a spreadsheet on the computer with everybody's entries. And when it's time to choose a book, we're going to go to that list, and I might even type them all out and put them in a little bowl and do a little live each month when we're picking the book. So I've already chosen January's and February's only because I have to be 2 months ahead for Kelsey. So Kelsey is already designing January's charm, which she will send to me at the end of this month when she sends me December's charms. So I already have to be ahead. So the first book that I'll pick from your entries will be for March. So pop them in the comments below. I'll also put up, you know, on our socials to, you know, submit your choices for book club for next year. I'll put it in the Discord. I'll put it in the newsletter. I'll put it everywhere I can think of. And then you guys can submit your entries, and we'll have a good time choosing from those books. So December Club is open now for pre-order. The Christmas book boxes will go on sale December 1st. I can't show you yet. Kelsey sent me the first iteration of the charm. It wasn't fully done, but you guys, what she has is just perfection. As I knew it would be. I knew it would be. So I'm very excited for that. I can't wait. I'll get that sample. Well, I'll probably get all of them by the end of November because we're going to have book boxes ready to sell. But I'm super excited. It's looking, well, fantastic. Like I knew it would. So much detail, so much thought, and you know, attention to detail. It's just perfection. So Christmas book boxes go on sale December 1st, 9 a.m. I still do not have a final price for you guys. I know that, you know, you're waiting on that, but until Kelsey finishes the charm and calculates my cost, then I'll know what I'm supposed to charge based on what she would charge retail. So that all has to be worked out, and she doesn't do any of that until she's done with the charm and can say, okay, this one, you know, took a lot more time. It's going to take me longer to make them, so I have to charge this. Then I'll know. So that's book boxes. Advents. We have 3 of our Dragon Rider Academy, Fourth Wing inspired Advents left. We have 1 on our merino fingering base, which is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon. And we have 2 left on our bisque fingering, which is 100% superwash merino, no nylon. So that's all that's left. They've been trickling out of here, but they are ready to go. So when you place your order, I am able to print the packing slip immediately and get it in the mail, you know, based on when the order comes through, get it in the mail as soon as possible. They are ready to ship. There's nothing holding them up. So just wanted to put that out there. There are 3 left. Fiber. Let's talk fiber. So I posted a teaser on my stories this week that we were having some wicked fun in the studio, and we are. So one of the things that we want to bring to the shop is fiber. I've been loving getting back into my spinning and looking at new fibers and creating with new fibers. And I said, that's something new that I want to bring to the shop for next year. We're actually going to bring it in by the end of this year, just kind of get it out there, you know, slowly. But it will be on the truck next year. We have decided on packaging, and we have just been experimenting. I dyed fiber before for my last job when I dyed for another company, but it was different. So there is a learning curve for me. Like, I'm trying to figure out what is the best technique for me to get the coverage that I want and the colors that I want on fiber. But we have lots of great options already. There's not a single one that I don't like. This was the Wicked one that I showed. I don't think the colors are right for Wicked, but it's fun. I think the green needs to be darker. I think the pink is okay. So we are starting with a 100% non-superwash Shanico wool, which is a Rambouillet and Merino hybrid, but it is 100% traceable American wool. So this is a specially bred, I guess it's a breed. They've bred Rambouillet sheep with merino sheep and gotten this fiber that is uniquely its own, but it is 100% traceable back to the farms because there aren't many, and it is glorious. So this was the one that we were playing with. Mr. Frogget had a good time. He put glow sticks on some. I did our Dusty Rose fade on some. This came out really good, this fade. So this I'm really happy with. And I'm still working on braiding. That's a whole other beast. So there's the Dusty Rose fade, which I think is perfect. I also played around with some of our Scotland colors, and these were all the colors that I put on our color for Inverness, but they look very different on fiber, but stunning nonetheless. I did some fun brighter pinks and purples with pops of white. Love that. This was just a beautiful, look at those fall colors. I might just call this one November because I think it shows November perfectly. It's a little bit gray with pops of fall. Our color On yarn that we call Valaris, City of Starlight, we put those same colors on fiber. So so different on fiber. On yarn, this is a very speckly color. But you can't, it's hard to speckle on fiber. It doesn't, because it's so open, everything just penetrates. So yeah, this is our stargazing color that we put on yarn, but looks very different on fiber. And then I took all of the colors from our barnwood recipe and put them on, and we got this. And this, Brian said this is his favorite. So yeah, we've been having fun. So look for that soon. I'll make a formal announcement when it's actually live on the shop. We're trying to get some stock built up. But they will all be 4-ounce braids. And they will all be 100% non-superwash Shanico wool, which again is divine. So that's something fun and exciting coming to the shop. We're gonna, keep on working on it, keep on perfecting our techniques, and yeah, we hope that you love it too. It is also going to be an option next year for club. I am going to offer a fiber option. So if you want the club color on fiber because you're a spinner, or you want to get a skein of yarn and fiber to play around with, it's going to be an option. So it'll be fun to see how those colors differ from all of the yarn that we put it on and then putting it on fiber. So I'm excited for that. And that is it for, did I get all of my show notes? Club, Christmas boxes, Advents, fiber. Okay. So before we move on to book chat, I'll just wrap up our last festival. It was the Maryland Alpaca Fleece and Fiber Festival. This is a 2-day event, and it is held at the Howard County Fairgrounds, which is the same fairgrounds as the big Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival in May. And this is a very nice, smaller festival. It does not get super, super crowded, so it doesn't feel overwhelming. You can get into the booths, you can talk to the vendors. It's just a really good laid back time. And we love it. It's close to home. We only have to spend one night away, and that's just to avoid having to get up at 5:30 in the morning. So yeah, it was a great way to end the year. It was beautiful weather. It was in the mid to high 60s both days. It was stunning weather. You could not have asked for better weather in November for a fiber festival that is, most of the vendors are in buildings. There's some in barns, and then there was us and Melissa from Rising Tide Fiber Company who are outside in the trailers. And I did not buy a single darn thing. But Mr. Frogget made a trade with Melissa. So she wanted our North Pole Book Club Christmas set, and he wanted this color, which she called Lost in the Library. And so they did a little trade for Christmas color for this, and now he would like a hat. So he will get a hat, possibly for Christmas. He gets a new hat almost every year, so I will whip him up a hat. So if you came out to see us this past weekend, thank you. Thank you for stopping in. It was hard to hear. So many people are furloughed or were furloughed. I don't know if they still are. I know that's still kind of all working out. So yeah, I hate to hear that. It sucks all the way around, but yeah, you came, you supported, and we had a great time. So thank you to everyone that came in the shop. Thank you to everyone who stopped by just to say hello. And yeah, now we're off the road until the end of April, which is nice. So that'll take us to book chat. And for book chat, there's not been a lot of changes. I am still reading Anathema by Carrie Lake. I am well past the halfway, probably 2/3 of the way through. I'm on chapter 44, which is 381 I think there are like literally 599 pages. Yes. This is my audiobook, and it's a good time. It's duet. So I'm loving that. I love a good duet, and the story is really starting to pick up now, and things are happening. So I'm excited. I do have the sequel to this on the bookshelf. So I'm looking forward to it. I am still reading Alchemised. Not a surprise. I am reading this on my Kindle because, you know, it's a weapon. I am on chapter 26, which is page 332. And I do have the audio version of this, but I don't think I want to switch back and forth between this and Anathema. I think I'm just going to wait till I finish Anathema and then maybe do some listening of this. I am enjoying reading it with my eyeballs. I will say the deeper the deeper we get into the book, the deeper the content gets. Last night, the section that I read was quite hard to read. Yeah, just quite hard to read, quite hard to swallow. I feel like the author did a really good job of conveying what was happening without all the unnecessary detail. I appreciate that. I appreciate that those particular scenes were not described in horrific detail, because the act itself was horrific. So I'm very happy with the way she wrote those scenes. Yeah, listen, I knew it was going to be dark. I knew it was not a fluffy romantic love thing. It is high fantasy. We're not even at the romantic subplot, okay? We're just at the horrible things are happening to Helena, and yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm having a good time. This is usually my before bed read. I do take my Kindle back to bed only because if I wake up at 5 or 5:30, chances are I'm not going to go back to sleep. So I can grab my Kindle, I can lay there and read, and it won't disturb Brian in bed. And the dogs don't care that I'm reading. So yeah. And then this weekend, I plan to start our November book pick, which is Dream Slinger by Gracie Kim. I think it's time for something light and fun. So, yeah, so I'm going to start this weekend. I'm also going to start my, the train. She just fell off the tracks. I want to start my December Granny Square, because I'll have to have that to show you on December 1st. Let's see. The only other thing I have for book chat is I might not get to Legends and Lattes this month, which is fine. I make these TBRs for me based on what I'm feeling at the beginning of the month and what I want to choose from. So there could be 7 or 8 books on my TBR, but it's which one do I feel like reading? I never have plans to read everything that I put on my TBR. It's to give me options. And I listen, Legends and Lattes is cozy fantasy, so I feel like that is fine for December, January, February. I'll read cozy fantasy year round, so it's fine. I did pick up the 3rd book in that series yesterday. I had to run some errands. I did pop into the bookstore and I picked up the 3rd one, which is called Brigands and Bread Knives. So yeah, when I get to it, hopefully I'll love it and I will have 3 books to binge read. So that'll be great. And that's it. That's all I got, folks. Yeah. Oh, it's been a week. Maybe Monday will be my PJ day. Cross your fingers for me. I'll tell you all about it next week. I'm hoping Monday can be pajama day. We'll see. Mr. Frogget, if you're watching, I really need a pajama day. just a day to knit and read and drink tea. Okay? Wink, wink. So let me know what you've been working on this week. Let me know if you're in the middle of a really good book, or maybe you just finished a really good book. Tell us all about it. We love to get a good book rec in the comments. Don't forget to leave your book entries. I don't want to call it an entry. It's not a giveaway. Your book suggestions in the comments if you have a book that you want to see us turn into a color for next year. So a book cover of a book that you love or want to love, a book that you've read or haven't read, doesn't really matter. Let us know what you want to see us possibly turn into a beautiful skein of yarn for next year. So leave that in the comments and I'll be collecting all of those. And yeah, it'll be a fun time. I want to see what you guys want to read, what you guys want to see as far as colors. It gets me out of my box and comfort zone, and it gets you involved in club. So yeah, other than that, I hope you all have a fantastic week. Please remember to take care of yourself, take care of each other, be kind. And I'll see you right back here next week. Same time, same place. And until then, happy making. Bye.